Discuss the existence of the limit as x approaches 0 of 1 over x squared. First, let's try to determine this limit numerically by using a table. Because we are computing a limit as x approaches 0, we need to choose some values to the left of 0 and some values to the right of 0. Here are some values to the left of 0. Now let's choose some values to the right of 0. Now we will evaluate each of these x values into the function to get the f of x value. You can also use the table feature in your calculator. First, let's start with negative 0.1. We will substitute negative 0.1 in for x everywhere it appears in the function. Type this into your calculator and you get 100. Complete these same steps for the rest of the values to the left of 0. So for negative 0.1 we get 100. For negative 0.01 we get 10,000. And for negative 0.001 we get 1 million. Now let's do the same with the values to the right of 0. Let's start with x equals 0.1. So now we substitute 0.1 for x everywhere in the function. Now type this into your calculator and we get 100. Complete these same steps for the rest of the values, or you can use the table function in your calculator. So for 0.1 we have 100. For 0.01 we have 10,000. And for 0.001 we get 1 million. So now we need to ask ourselves, what is happening around 0? As we approach 0 from the left and from the right, our function values are increasing by a lot. In the previous examples, we were approaching some value, but for this example, it doesn't really seem like we're approaching anything. Our numbers are just getting larger and larger the closer we get to 0. As we approach 0, we're actually not approaching a value, so we say that the limit does not exist. Now let's compute the limit using the graph of the function. Here is the graph of the function. So we want to find the limit as x approaches 0, so that means we're going to look where x is 0. Now let's look at the behavior of the function approaching 0 from the left. Notice that this just keeps increasing without bound. And now when we look at the behavior coming in from the right, we also see that the behavior keeps increasing without bound. So because we're not approaching a number, we're just kind of growing up from the left and the right, we say that the limit does not exist.